Hello everybody, it's Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. I have been gone for a minute. I was on vacation in Florida for 7 days. I enjoyed myself, but I was ready to kind of get back home and check on my little garden, my little pots and things. But I did do a Instagram video, a post where I got strawberries off of this little strawberry bush after I had gotten back from Florida. But right now, I had these were in the ground last year, so I put them in a pot, and there are little flowers on this one. This one was already a potted strawberry, and then these are the others that I got out the ground and I separated them. So I'm gonna see how they do in the pots. This is some lettuce that I probably need to pull, and they're still good. They're not bitter, so that's good. Uh, this is a little verbena that I had last year, and it's coming back. This was supposed to be a project for the kids at church where we planted zinnia seeds, and we were hoping that they were up by Mother's Day. So I don't know what's going to happen, but those were the zinnias, and it's still a mess back here. As you know, I had this tree cut down, and right now it's going to be, where am I going to put all of these pots of things I have started? Over here is where I'm going to be putting some potato plants, and I have already cut them up, and I'm going to let them set a few days, and they will be going over there. Over here, um, these were some amaryllis bulbs that were in the ground last year. I pulled them up, I put them in a pot to see how they do, because I think they were in too much clay. So these are in here, and I also threw a few, I think, cucumber seeds. So while the amaryllis are trying to get set for next year, I will have some cucumbers in there. Um, some These are some beets, Swiss chards, carrots. There's some more lettuce. Um, Over here, kale. Back here were some onions that I put in pots, and maybe a few more weeks I pulled them up. But they were planted January 29th, and I kept them on the carport for the time being. This is baby breath that I planted last year, so hopefully I get some this year. And this was the little sign that I made for that. And like I said, it's still a mess back here, but here are some irises that hopefully will bloom this year. This is a geranium that I got from Aldi's a few weeks ago, and it was dead, just about dead. So the cashier, she had told me whenever it starts back blooming to take a picture, and she wanted to see how it worked out. This is some phlox that was leaning out of another pot, so I have put it in some dirt, and hopefully it catches. And I moved these chairs back here, but again, this used to be my cedar tree area. um Over here is still a work in progress, and I know my yard is different from other people's. I like whimsy, so you would see a whole lot of little things like this. My old chairs, um, This plant here, I have to get my little tag because it comes every year. It's orange and it spreads. Uh, some little moonbeams down there, and they have like the little yellow blooms on them. Here's some rose campion back here. I don't know what color this one is going to be, but that's that. Uh, my lavender, I have already put some beans in these two pots, that one and this one. Rosemary, and it's been back here for a few years. I did get it cleaned up a little bit up here. What I plan on doing is painting my doors. This door here was the original screen door on my house when I got it, and that's been like 36 years ago. And I think I'm going to give it a fresh coat of paint on one side and keep the other side the original. This door here came from the side of the road, and I'm planning on painting it also. So this little sitting area right here. Over here, I was so excited when I left to go on my trip. These peonies were budding, and I was like, I hope that I can get a bloom by the time I get back. And I didn't know would this happen with peonies, um, but I dug these up and moved them last year. Normally, it takes a year or two to get a bloom, but I have these two pink ones, and as you can see, there are ants on them. And then this one is going to be white. So this little garden bed here, here's some flocks I need to kind of put some dirt around it. There is a cabbage back there, and here is, I think um, it may be a Swiss chard, but I'm gonna see how they do before it gets hot. And then over here, these are vintage little tricycles, and I don't know if I'm gonna keep them in my yard this year, but I do have like space up there, which I may just clean a little spot and put these up on the hill. And they did have a sign, and it was Rusty Store. I think that's what I had. And they were sitting around. I still need to get this fencing up. This garden bed back here. Some white rose campion and some of the purple back there. And I thought it was blooming pretty early for this year, but hopefully I can deadhead and still get blooms. This is a big Shasta daisy. Rose bushes back there. Um, Yara is back there. So we'll see how that goes. I may do these stack planters this year. Right now there's something growing, and it looks like a hollyhock. So that's that. This garden bed over here has onions. There are irises, geraniums, gladiolas back there. And then this is a work in progress, but there are the little asparagus beans. I have them planted in here along the fence. I have some nasturtiums planted along the fence, and here is another cabbage. Um, the time is running out on this video, but I will come back and do a part 2. Thanks for watching.